Hi everyone, it's Monday afternoon and this is my third video on my Booktube Rainier Books for you. And the first time that I'm going to present you with a couple of books that I'm going to read, that I'm having on my so-called TBR, which means to be read list. It's again a beautiful Monday. The weather is amazing outside. It's not so warm as it seems to be. It's always very warm in my house here on Snowflake Hill, but it's really a bit chilly when you get outside, but it's beautiful. The sun is shining, as I said, and I'm going to take a walk after this video. The books I'm going to read in the next few weeks, we have May 11 today, so I hope that I can finish 2 or 3, maybe 4 more books in the beautiful month of May before we get into June. And which are those books? I was looking through my shelf yesterday and I was looking for something interesting for the next couple of days that would keep me busy reading. And I found 3 novels that I have physically here and one that I have on my electric reader. The first novel I am intending to read in May when I have finished the 2 reads that I've currently have, is a book by an Asian British author by the name of Tash Aw. Tash Aw has written a book called We, the Survivors. We, the Survivors is a novel, I think it's the 3rd or 4th novel by Tash Aw. I have read his last one, that's a couple of years old. I have to get here to get it for you and to show it to you. It was called 5-Star Billionaire. 5-Star Billionaire, that was actually recommended, not for me, but for the readers of the English newspaper The Guardian by the very famous Nigerian author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Before Christmas, she said she presented 3 books that she advised people to read, and one of them was 5-Star Billionaire by Tash Aw, and I followed her advice and I bought this book. It was really amazing. It's a story about the ever-growing city of Shanghai in China and how it gets bigger and bigger, and how people with small dreams come to Shanghai and people with big dreams who write books like 5-Star Billionaires are corresponding to the development of the city of Shanghai. Beautiful story with beautiful character. What is We the Survivors about? We the Survivors is the story of a man called Hok. That's how his friends call him. His actual name is Lee Hok Hai. He comes from Malaysia and he's from a very poor area. And he is, like the Asian society changing around him. He wants to change. He dreams of a much better life. He comes into contact with other people. He leaves his natural home. He goes somewhere else and he finally ends up killing a man. And why he kills and what leads to the kill is the subject of this novel, We the Survivors, which I am having so great expectations for that I'm going to tell you afterwards how it went for me and if this book is another great recommendation, as the other one is 5-Star Billionaire. If you haven't read that one, buy it. It's beautiful. I loved it. Book number 2 that I am intending to read in the next few weeks is a novel that is pretty... And I'm diving into yesterday's literature with the next novel that I intend to read in May or in June, a book by a guy called Cormac McCarthy. Cormac McCarthy is actually still alive. Thanks God. He is from El Paso in Texas, and he is 87 years old now. He has a career as an author, has written many novels that have been become major motion pictures. This one as well. It took him to the top of the American literature list, so to speak, because this won the National Book Award in 1993 in the United States. This is called All the Pretty Horses, and it's the first part of Cormac McCarthy's so-called Border Trilogy. It is a novel that romanticizes the American West. It is about a man, a rancher in Texas, whose name is John Crady Cole. He's a bewildered survivor of long generations of Texas ranchers in search for a life that no longer exists. A couple of boys here, is a classic. The boy's story is a classic adventure from the lost heart of the American Wild West. An adventure that within months will leave one of them dead, the other two aged beyond any normal reckoning. Yet throughout it all, John Grady Cole will survive. The last American cowboy steeped in the sort of wisdom that comes only from love and loss and excruciating pain. My God, doesn't that sound epic? This sounds so epic that I have to read it. This became a major motion picture by one of my favorite Hollywood actors and directors. Billy Bob Thornton directed the movie, and it was Penelope Cruz in the female lead, and I don't actually remember who was in the male lead. I will put it somewhere in the video so that you know who was playing together with Penelope Cruz. Cormac McCarthy has written some other pieces that you might know, for example, No Country for Old Men, which has been dramatized and filmed by the Coen brothers, and many other stuff that is really famous in American literature. So I'm excited to dive into the Border trilogy, and I'm interested in my own feelings about this first novel of the trilogy, of the Border trilogy, if I am going to want to read the second or the third, or if I'm going to say, no, that's enough for me. I have my own impression of the Border trilogy, and that's enough. I'm going to tell you, don't worry. Number 3 is a book that I haven't read yet. And, well, I don't know, I have to say, because this is really a book that is on many, many TBRs. It has been on many, many TBRs the last year when it appeared on the book market. It has been anticipated by thousands and thousands of people, by many booktubers. It has been discussed. It has been nominated for lots of awards, but I haven't read it. But I'm going to read it. It's on my top TBR list now for the next few weeks. So promise, I'm going to read it. I'm going to tell you how it was. This book is about a Vietnamese, now you know who it is, a Vietnamese young man who is writing a letter to his illiterate mother to explain her why things went the way they went. His mother cannot read, she cannot write, so she's illiterate, and he writes a long, long, long letter to her. And this letter is subsumized, or is called as a novel, as was published. This letter is called nothing else but On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and I'm talking about the young American poet Ocean Vuong. Ocean Vuong, who is nominated for so many awards for this beautiful book. I'm sure that it's beautiful. It has so many blurbs here. I mean, look at this. It is Marlon James who says, a bruised, breathtaking love letter never meant to be sent, a marvel. Or Max Porter, the author of Lenny, says, a masterpiece. What? A masterpiece, a staggeringly beautiful book full of wisdom and pain, a huge gift to the world, and hopefully also to me. I'm going to read Ocean Vuong, and I'm going to tell you how I liked it, or I didn't like it. I'm always honest. And there's another book, a fourth book that I'm going to read that I have decided. We have both the long list and the short list of the Great International Women's Prize. I have read one of the books that is on the short list, and that is the amazing, the wonderful, the great Bernardine Evaristo with her novel Girl, Woman, Other. One of my favorite books of the last year. So beautiful. I loved it. I simply loved it. The second book that is on the short list is Angie Cruz and her novel Dominicana, and I have that on my e-reader, and I'm going to read it. This is a book about a 15-year-old girl, Ana Cancion, who does not have any plans to move to the United States, actually, but she meets a man who is almost twice her age, and he proposes to her, and things happen, and so she's coming to America. She marries him. The marriage is an opportunity for her entire close-knit family to eventually immigrate to the United States of America. So in the 1960s, Ana leaves the Dominican Republic for New York. So she doesn't have any plans to go to the United States, but Anna leaves for the United States to marry this older man. And she comes to New York, she comes to a cold 6th floor walk up in Washington Heights. She feels lonely and miserable and she wants to escape. But when she wants to escape that marriage that has gone wrong, that she doesn't feel so comfortable with, she meets Cesar, the younger brother of her husband Juan, and he convinces her to stay in the United States. And then the story develops, I don't know where, I don't know how, but I'm going to read it and I'm going to find out and I'm going to tell you here. So this is another book that is nominated for the shortlist of the International Women's Prize. Anyway, I hope that the lighting is better in this video. I was really dissatisfied with the lights in the first 2 videos that I put out. I'm trying to get better in everything. I'm trying to deliver you better lighting, which is not so easy. I have to learn that. And I'm going to deliver you a better sound. I'm watching quite a lot of Booktube right now to learn from all of you. There's so much great content out there. One very impressive site that I've found already is, and that I'm going to link down below, is a Canadian friend called David Yoon, and he is the Poptimist on Booktube, and I'm going to link his channel down below. I really like his videos. A great guy who's doing great stuff, very special stuff, I think. That was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found something for your own TBR. It's never too late to change it. So enjoy your reading, enjoy your week, and I see you next time. Bye-bye. Stay safe.